Yes, sir. Changes I would make to both of the code as well as the policy and procedures. First of all, I require that the misdemeanor code prosecution cases be reviewed by the city attorney and voted upon by the city council. The emphasis is on use of community services in order to be, I think, more sensitive to the needs of our people. Seeing a photograph of a disabled veteran trying to mow his lawn that he cannot do is something that he shouldn't be prosecuted for. That I would champion. Review of code enforcement policies and meeting with cited constituents to discuss the issues. That's sensitivity. Revised Rancho Cucamonga City Council budget review process. And I want to show you right here, the budget review process begins right here. But that's where the Rancho Cucamonga City Council should be involved in. Not down here as a rubber stamp, because that's where they get the budget and then approving it. So, the flow chart and the council had estimated inception not to be the rubber stamp at the very end. And I would repeal the following. Resolution 14-076, adopting a charge to review candidate statements. I think it's discriminatory, it's burdensome, and it's akin to the old South, old code type policies. They're going to champion it. They said, well, we have the authority under the code, under the elections code. They have the authority, but you don't have to carry that through. And that's how I saw that, this discriminatory statement. I saw it as just nothing but old code, Jim Crow. Common sense should have signaled the city council what it represented, and this was represented by the city attorney as well. Resolution 14-179, city clerk's estimate, and refuge and recycling estimate should be repealed. Sweetheart contracts and improper city administrative support for private industries must end. Order a review of unbudgeted city reserves to be paid back to the taxpayers. You are the people that I want to represent, the taxpayers. And that's my final objective. I figure if I can sit on the council a couple of years, a couple of terms, I'll get that accomplished. Thank you.
Mr. Jimenez. Well, there's a couple minor things that I would like to change, and then I'll go into the bigger picture that I want to change. For those of you guys who don't know, we currently have a parking fee down at the Metrolink station. We are the only city in the whole San Bernardino County that has a parking fee for people that want to catch the train. We should be promoting public transportation. It's not just about what's practical, but it's also about our future. We need to start moving into more environmental sounds of getting environmental sound ways to get around. And by having an extra fee on public transportation, you're not really encouraging folks on moving that direction. So that would be the first one. The second one, we are very harsh on the business community when it comes to signage. We really enforce the code when it comes to people putting signage out on the street, but then all of a sudden, every 2 years when we have elections, it's a free-for-all. It's okay to place any corner, roll kinds of campaign signs, and let's face it, it looks really ugly. I would actually limit the size of the signs, limit the size of the signs, and also limit the amount you can put out, and maybe just ban it from public cross streets altogether. The bigger picture is we need some type of municipal election code reform. We really need to look at our elections. We need to consider district representation in our city. We are made up of 3 distinct communities, Etowanda, Altaloma, and the Old Cucamonga. I think we would get a broader representation in our city council if we had districts. It's something that we should be considering. Something I mentioned earlier, campaign contribution. We need to limit the amount people give to our candidates so that we don't have just a small group of people dictating what happens in our city. And we also should be considering term limits. I think there's a lot of people in our community, myself, who are trying to just bring ideas and contribute to our community, and it's just impossible. Because let's face it, if you look at Congress, if you look at state houses, if you look at local politics, the power of incumbency is really powerful. It is hard to get rid of incumbents. So if we're serious about changing our city council and moving forward in our community and building a community that my daughter is going to feel proud of, 20, 30 years from now, We need to change the way we do our local elections. Thank you.
For the benefit of our audience, the current question is, what changes to the City Municipal Code would you pursue and why? Mr. Hanlon.
Thank you. Well, we have a number of them that we call silly and ridiculous. Let me go over one. We have a municipal code that has signs up on bus stops for non-smoking. And at the day they were put in, the mayor at the time said, we're not going to enforce it, and that's in the newspaper. Why have something that silly? We have Municipal Code 849 and 851, which limits the amount of people who can protest as their right under the First Amendment. Why? Because somebody doesn't want them there. It's not going to work. And even at the council meetings, people got up, and not people from our city, but people got up from all around San Bernardino and said, hey, this is not a good idea. It should not be in. The city should not face civil matters if it comes to that and stand behind bad decisions. Both of those were bad decisions. And I have to agree. We have council members at large. That means nobody's responsible to you, the voter. They're responsible to anybody, and they can always say it was his fault. No offense, Bill. But that's how it works. If we have districts, then somebody can stand up and say, this is not fair to my district. LND2 has a problem. They gave money a year ago. After 2 elections, after 2 votes, they gave money. Nothing's been done with it. We went to a meeting, and we were told, well, if we need more, we'll just go out and get more. We were shown designs and no presentation. Had we had a member on the council who was a stand-up and said, this is your district, you better start standing up, then I'm sure that we would have had better representation of the voters. And you guys have to step up and say, we have to stop this at-large good old boys club. Thank you.